dopamine detox. I've heard these two words quite a lot in my healing process, in my research process, me trying to better myself. And I never really understood what it meant, because can you truly understand something unless you truly feel it? Unless you truly go through it yourself. Now, I'm not saying you would understand the feeling of getting, let me not use that example, but I feel like you know what I mean, is that you would never truly understand or feel someone's pain unless you truly go through it. Obviously you can feel it, but to that extent of what the pain truly feels like. So when people spoke about dopamine detox, I thought about it, and it takes us back to the whole red pill society. You should, in order to become the better version of yourself, you must remove yourself from the world, remove yourself from dopamine, try and exclude yourself from that, bring in more delayed gratification. And I tried it for a couple of days, and honestly it was sickening, man. But I feel like my reason why was a bit off. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I feel like when I started dopamine detoxing, I was doing it in the sense of other people. I was doing it in the sense of, once I do this detox, I'll be able to get more girls, and it wasn't in the sense of doing this so I can change and I can shift my life. I was doing it so I can change, so it can implement on other people, so they can look at me as this big person, proud person, important person. And slowly, as I said, this week hasn't been easy, but slowly throughout this week, I've been noticing that people don't give a fuck about you, man. Especially as men. People care about themselves. People don't give a fuck about no one. Regarding your family, regarding your friends, people don't give a fuck about you, man. They don't give a fuck about your well-being. They don't care about your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. People just don't care. People only care about themselves. And coming into this world, obviously you find people that truly care about you, that truly love you for you, that are loyal to you. Of course, there's those certain few people, but then again, there's people out there that don't know your name, that don't know who you are, that don't know you exist. And yet we worry so much about that person's comments, that person's opinion, and yet they've never lived in our shoes, not even for 2 minutes. So coming throughout this week, I'm trying to pick up my business. I'm trying to work on myself. I'm trying to become the better version of myself. I'm trying to fix my tongue, my vocabulary, my pronunciation. And I just came to the sense of, as I'm going through this process of me struggling and not finding the way, me having this attack, this anxiety attack, I look around and there's nobody there. It's like nobody gives a fuck, man. People only care about themselves. People got bills to pay. People got things to do. Why should they care about you? So it got me thinking, in the sense of, all my life I've been doing things to impress the next person, and just so I don't forget it. Me and my partner, we come from two different backgrounds. We come from different upbringings. So coming together, understanding each other has been not difficult, but has been quite a journey. So there's few things that I say that she misunderstands. There's few things that she says that I misunderstand. But what's so beautiful about our love connection is that throughout our fights, throughout our misunderstandings, our arguments, we always come together with an agreement of understanding. our communication is always on point, because we never point fingers, we never blame. And what's so beautiful is that I noticed in our relationship, when I tend to put on more of a facade, trying to impress her by changing who I am, trying to sweet talk her, trying to add more flirtatious comments, trying to do things that is not of my demeanor, is not of my aura, she tends to take that as more disrespectful. She takes it as more of a it's something, almost a threat, because it's not who she fell in love with, you know. And I started noticing the switches on when I put my foot down and I say, love, this is me. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to say. Of course, I'm doing it in a respectful manner, you know. But she looks at me and she says, this is the person I fell in love with, and this is the person I respect. Is because you're not taking other people's bullshit, you're not taking other people's opinions, you're not taking other people's voice and making it yours. You're making your own voice yours. Your own opinion matters. Your own actions matters when you do what you said you are intended to do. And I find it to be so powerful is that the other day when I told you about this attack, she said that she's there for me, and she's the only person that brings me peace. So that's when I decided to message her, and I told her, I said, I'm not doing well. And she says, okay, let's breathe, let's figure it out together. And what was so nice about that is I came from my own heartfelt or broken hearts, and I came and I was vulnerable, and I said, baby, this is me. This is no faking it around, this is me, you know. And then it was just yesterday we were arguing, we're not arguing, but we were going back and forth on the call, and I was expressing how I felt, she was expressing how she felt. But then I noticed a change on when I think something just got me a bit angry, or something got me a bit pissed, and I decided to raise my voice a little bit. But once I raised my voice, obviously I always feel bad about that. I never want to raise my voice in front of anybody. I feel like I always want to have that calm demeanor about myself. But there's something that ticked me off, and I raised my voice. But while I raised my voice, I said what I've always been wanting to say. I said what I wanted to say, not in terms of what she needed to hear, you know. I wasn't sweet talking, I wasn't trying to maneuver my way into the conversation going in the right path. I put my foot down and I said, no, but this is how I'm feeling. And I just noticed the small change in our conversation in terms of she respected me more, and she understood exactly what I was saying. It's because she knows who I am. She understands me. And from that, every time I am not being me, I'm not saying me, I'm not using my voice, it almost comes off as disrespectful to her, because this is not the person she knows. You know? I feel like that comes off with everything. That comes off with business. That comes off with sports, you know, with everything in general, is that you have to be authentic, and you have to know your true self, and you have to speak your true self. Of course, there's some side things about being professional, being respectful, try and put on a cleaner manner for the next person, you know what I mean? Try and speak respectful. But then again, why change you? Of course, if you're a dirty person, try and become a better person. Try and become the best version of yourself. Try and help people. Try and spread the gospel to the world. Try and be a good person. But that doesn't mean you must change who you are, you know. So it got me thinking, in the sense of, for so many years I've been putting on this demeanor and this facade about trying to impress other people, and when I do raise my voice, when I do put my foot down, when I am direct with what I'm saying, people look at me and say, wow, Stones, this is you. Like, you got such a boldness to you, such a authoritative tongue to you. And I never understood that until now. Is that every time I put my foot down and I say, regardless of how you're going to take me, regardless of if you like me, if you understand me, this is me. See who I am for me. And what's so powerful is that I was messaging my woman, you know, and she came up to me with how she was feeling. And I decided to take a different route. And I decided to take the researched route. I decided to look back on our past conversations, on how things were dealt with before. And I tried to put that all into one sense about how I think she needed to hear what I wanted to say, or what I think she needed to hear from me, what I thought she needed to hear. If sure, I hope that makes sense. And it came off in a whole completely different way, where she felt disrespected. She felt like I didn't consider what she was saying. Then she came back to me and she says, but how can you say that to me? That is like so wrong of you. And then I took a step back and I was saying to myself, damn, is when I saw those messages and I said, this is how I would respond, in the sense of putting my foot down and saying, but you're crazy for feeling this way, or I understand where you're coming from, type of thing. I decided to put it in the sense of, no, you know what, I feel like she needs to hear from the researcher's point of view. She needs to hear from this guy's point of view, because it makes sense, and how he said this, how he said that, and I feel like I should say it in this way. Meantime, it comes off completely wrong. And yet, if I should have, if I said from the beginning, and I said my true authentic self, and I said, love, this is me, on how I feel, on what you're feeling. I'm trying to comfort you in the best way that I can. I'm trying to give you advice in the best way I can, regardless if it's the right way, regardless if it's the best way, regardless if it's bad advice. Love, this is coming from me, the person that cares about you. You know, that's just a side note. It's just a side note that I wanted to say. But wow, I went completely off the rails, yeah. But I hope you can understand what I'm saying is that be your true authentic self, and people will respect you for that. People will truly respect you. And I take it when I'm not in my head, when I'm on the soccer field, when I'm on the soccer pitch, when I'm on the basketball court, when I'm in my exam room, when I'm doing dishes. I feel like when I'm not in my head and I'm in a completely flow state of me being in my true authentic self, I get the job done. There's no pressure on me, and even if there's pressure, I can deal with it, because the pressure's on me, not in the 100 and 200 people that are in my head throwing advice to me, giving negative advice, doing this, do that. No, it's my voice and I have control over him. You know, it's my actions and I have control over my actions. So that's just what I wanted to say, is that be your true authentic self, and people will respect you for that. Of course, you have to be a bit professional, you have to be a bit respectful, you have to upgrade yourself in level of communication every single day. But then again, don't lose you, don't lose your voice, man. We all come from different backgrounds, different cultures. Don't let people disrespect you for being you. I hope that makes sense. And throughout this week, I noticed that when I'm not being me, when I don't put my foot down, when I take disrespect, when I don't respect myself, that's when other people feel disrespected. That's when I feel low on energy. Today I said to myself, regardless of what happens, I am going to do my work. I need to get this done. I need to come out here and I need to make this video. After this, I need to head to the gym. I need to get this done. Tonight, I'm going to be editing, studying, get this done. That's me putting respect on myself. People will look at you and respect you as a man because what you're saying you are doing. You know? What you are saying you are doing, what you put down on paper, you follow through. Authenticity. That's the word. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself, man. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose your voice. Don't erase that inner child. I erased him and I'm trying to bring him back. Don't erase him. Keep him there. Hold him close. Because he needs you. Just like you need him.